Hey, y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and we are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back and relax and get ready to sip on this hot tea. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
Hey Claudia, how's it going?
Good, good, good. I'm ready for this Thursday show. I am so ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, and please welcome Armand Wiggins. What's up, Armand?
What up? What up? What up?
Okay, Energy. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's get into it. I'm excited.
Okay, are we sipping? Are we not sipping? Is it a dry show? Or is it a wet show?
Definitely
Definitely a
sipping.
wet show.
Definitely sipping.
Well, we can only hope for a wet show, but okay. Let's get to these
And I'm
topics.
sipping straight, so I don't know how this is gonna go.
You know what? Straight what?
Tequilas. I've been on 1800 all week, so that's what I'm on.
And Al, you drinking that Chardonnay or you drinking
You
something else?
know it. You already know my buttery
Okay.
Chardonnay right here.
And vodka and simply lemonade. Okay, here we go. It's gonna be one of those shows because all three of us, anything goes on these kind of shows. All right, let's get to these topics. Kendrick Lamar has dropped a diss track called Euphoria aimed at Drake that shook up the internet. Now, he went on to slam Drake's alleged surgery, his sexuality, not being a good father to his son, his use of the N-word as a biracial person, and so much more. What are your thoughts on this diss track? Al, what do you think about this?
You know, I say this all the time. When it comes to hip hop, the origins of hip hop, when you had a beef with someone, you took it to the booth and you put it on wax. And this, I feel like, is exactly what Kendrick Lamar is doing. And I love this type of stuff, right? Because he's not running to the internet. He's not running to Twitter. He's not sending sub tweets. No, he's putting exactly how he feel into a rap song and he's pushing it out and everybody's loving it. Excellent job. I like this type of stuff. I like it when artists get off the internet and get in the booth and put it on wax.
Have you heard the songs, Al? They've been going
I
back and forth.
I have only heard, but since y'all mentioned it yesterday,
Uh-huh.
y'all made me go listen to the diss parts. I'm sitting there, I was like, ooh, ooh, this is good. But hey, I like when beefs are done in the booth. I've said that all the time on here. I like it when beefs are done in the booth and not over the internet.
Joseph Savage said, I'm tired of beefs, but let me tell you something. If you are a fan of hip hop, it ain't really just a beef. Kendrick Lamar is like, he is saying some stuff in them songs. Like he is really, really getting a lot of love online. Armand, I don't know who you are taking in this battle or what you think, or what do you think about the beef? I know you're big on music.
I just think that this is the clash of the titans. You've got Drake on one end who makes pop hit records, but then you've got Kendrick Lamar who's like a lyrical genius. And I just feel like you want to see these two guys go head to head. And for me, while Drake is more my speed, what I like to listen to on an everyday basis, Kendrick Lamar, hands down, has taken this battle. And for me, he's won this because the lyrical gymnastics, the flow changes, the double entendres, the beat switches, the delivery of this record. I mean, it goes over your head. And this is one of those diss records that you have to literally listen to over and over and over. And then every time you listen to it, you'll catch something new. What I really am enjoying about this, though, is that everybody's embracing it and they're not trying to get messy. They're not trying to get too dark and dangerous, but they're saying, hey, listen, I'm better than you, and I'm going to show you why. Something that I wish that the girls could do and it not be considered messy or dramatic. So I'm here for the men setting the standards on how to do real rap beef in 2024.
Armand, I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit because I listen to the lyrics. Now, Kendrick Lamar said some stuff that might get Drake in trouble with some kind of investigations. He spoke about a Chinese restaurant up there in Toronto that one of his ops was actually unalived at. It was kind of dropping some hints about it. So it could get uglier. I hope you're right. I hope it doesn't. I hope they keep it like this. But you know, egos, I won't even just say of males, of rappers, period. It can get really ugly because if you telling and snitching and you are trying to tie me to an unaliving in Toronto of one of my ops, we might have some issues. But yeah, the internet is saying exactly what you're saying. Kendrick Lamar won this rap beat for sure. That's what Trinity said. City Baby 415 said, how could fans of hip hop be tired of beef? And Vanisha Phillips says, but Kendrick married to a white girl, people go crazy. No, he's not married to a white girl. He's married to a girl whose mother is biracial. It is a difference. And people don't run with these narratives and it doesn't mean that he can't still be a good rapper.
But let me just say this real quick. It's also good for business because that restaurant is seeing an influx in sales too. We just kind of learned. So a lot of people now are shopping going to that Chinese restaurant in Toronto because Kendrick name dropped it. So the beef is working for everybody across the board.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, Kendrick, if you're watching, is it a long shot to ask you to come on the show, Drake?
I know we would love to have Kendrick.
All right. Oh, and Yonique Jacob said this. Kendrick is the last rapper I'd ever expect to have beef. He's such a conscious backpack rapper. But we've seen people change. People do change. All right, speaking of the diss, it brought up the conversation regarding biracial people being Black or not Black enough. G Smalls took to social media and gave his thoughts on being biracial after hearing the track. Take a look.
You never really feel accepted by a community. You know, some people may accept you and you know, consider you as Black. And being a part of the white community is, of course, it's not an option because you're not white. We're not white by any means. They will never see you that way. I would never see myself that way. I consider myself Black with a white parent. That's what feels most, that's what resonates most with me.
All right. Do you all feel biracial people who are half Black have to automatically claim they're Black due to white people not accepting us? Armand, what do you think?
You asked me, the only non-biracial up here. I was waiting.
Because I want to get your thoughts first. Because I know me and Al will have.
Because I'm like, yeah, I think y'all. This is probably more y'all conversation. But I do feel like that's what kind of happens because if you're half and half, you're technically Black, but you also are that other half. So you should be able to choose either or. Like why? And no offense, but I'm just saying, why do Black people? Why do we have to just be like? Why do we have to be like, oh, you're Black? No, maybe you're white. You know, why do we have to, you know, why do Black people have to accept it? Or why are you automatically Black? Why can't you be white? Why can't you be Mexican?
I think we're a little closer to Black. It's a lot more easier to understand than I would look nuts saying, hey, I'm Italian or I'm white because obviously the Black gene was stronger because my skin's brown. You know what I mean? Right. Al, what do you think before real quick, G Smalls also had a book called Black Enough, Man Enough that embraces being mixed. What are your thoughts on this, Al? I know we've touched upon this.
It's just so much. It's so much here. I have to say this. I think the reason why, because I think he said you're forced to be Black because white people won't accept you. The deal is, like, for me, my mother was like, you're going to be raised the way society is going to perceive you and how you show up in the world, because she didn't want me or any of our family members to have issues with, assimilating. And I think that that's okay. Now, the funny part is, according to guidelines, the National Center for Health Statistics, Claudia, their race is supposed to be defined by the race of the mother and the race that the mother has on her birth certificate. So technically, Claudia, you're white.
Okay.
Now use that and see how far you're going labels.
No,
I'm just saying.
I've always heard it was the father, not the mother.
No, that was until 1989 because
I'm not doing new rules. You
don't like the new rules but I'm a 70s baby, so being born in the 70s, because my father, I would technically on my birth certificate should have white. Right? Anybody that has a white father in your lineage, you go by especially in the state of Virginia. That was before 1989. So in 1989, they changed it, Claudia. Even the census people changed it that to now it's supposed to be the color. You're the color of your birth mother.
Whatever. I'm not doing it.
So one of y'all Black and one of y'all white.
So we have comments here. Let's see. Actress 29 Austin said, I can't wait until we get to the day where race is not an issue. We're not crayons. People are humans. And Ariam MJ says, y'all should claim your biracialness. And she also said, y'all are mixed. And New York said, both parents have to be Black for you to be Black. How many times do I have to give this lesson? I'm going to say this, and I hope this stops this ignorant conversation because I think it's silly. Black people in America really crack me up sometimes with this purity test that we like to give. We have our nerve when if we trace our lineage back in this country in America, Even the most brownest person in America can probably trace back some slave master blood up in his family. Okay. And the reason how even biracial people started with our great grandmas getting raped, should she just disown that baby or that baby's white? I just feel like it's really painful to people that have a white parent and a black parent, and we are raised and we have to be seen in society as a black person, to then have black people cast us aside and say, you can't sit with us. You can't sit with us. And I know this sounds like biracial tears and, woe is me. And I don't care if it does, because what it does to people that have a white parent and a black parent, but identify, how come people can identify as anything, right? But when it comes to biracial people get offended and say that we cannot say that we're black. I'm black and GD, I can't swear anymore, right? I am black and I've never been raised anything but that. Yes, I had an Italian mother in my house, but I was raised in my black family. There's no way I could fix my mouth to survive in America saying I'm white. It would sound crazy.
If you wanted to, could you? That's what I want to know. Like, could you? You should be able to. Well, if you wanted to be white, you should be able to identify that way, because you're honestly half and half. So you have the right to identify either way, I feel.
But then we get mad when people do that and we say they're a coon or they're Uncle Tom or they're self-loathing.
Doja Cat is the prime example of I feel like Doja Cat identifies more with her white side.
Yeah, well,
her black side to me.
I just feel like it's just like a slap in the face to all the things I had to deal with growing up as someone that, you know what I mean? Like, I had to really, really fight because of my blackness. So for someone to just come on,
lack of blackness.
no, because of my blackness, Al, with white people.
With white people.
Yeah, with white people. That was an issue. Being in neighborhoods where we'd be the only black family in the neighborhood, whether you want to call me black or biracial, and I had to fight. I had to get in fist fights. I had a skateboard cracked in my face by a racist white kid. I had to fight all the time for it. So I'm like, it's harder for me to like let go of that. I'm not just gonna let go because some people on social media say, well, you're not black because your mother's from Italy. Gotcha. Oh, this new nonsense that came out in 1989. No, I'm going with I feel. And if people can be out here identifying as furries and sea turtles and whatever they want, then I am going to continue to live my life as a black woman, and ain't no one got to tell me otherwise.
Okay, I got one more question though.
Okay, go ahead,
now. I'm really not trying to get pushback. I'm just trying to understand. So like you do have that fight, for your black side, right? But then you also have to admit at some point you do have a privilege from your white side that you may get. No, you guys never so you can identify as both. I feel like, because you do have the struggle from the black side, but you do have you have a privilege from being lighter skinned as well. There is a biracial privilege that you get.
There is a privilege, but it comes with a price. Okay. And this is something that I don't think we talk about. Yes, I 100% see how racist white people will find us safer and more palatable to them, right? But I don't care what they think, because my heart is not with them. It is I would trade the pain that I get from being dismissed by black people for the disapproval of whites. I would rather them disapprove me over there and give up that privilege I have with them if I had a choice. I know I don't. And I definitely empathize with how darker skinned people are treated in this country. It's jacked up and I hate it. So when a man comes to me in that nonsense, I don't date nothing darker than me, but don't even come around me like that, because it is not complimentary to me. But it's people like me and Al that's supposed to check that when we hear that ignorant stuff and not allow that privilege to be such a thing. It's a very complicated conversation. Yeah. I think we need to give it like a really meaty segment or town hall.
For me, Armand, I do understand that there's a privilege for being of a lighter hue, for sure. But I can't transfer that privilege to the white community, right? I can. They might feel safer around me, but at the end of the day, any chance that they get to remind me that I'm black, they're going to remind me that I'm black. Does that make sense? So for me, in my experience, and I think Claudia and myself, I went to a PWI, I worked in PWI spaces, vacation in PWI spaces. I can't use this privilege of being light-skinned to pretend to be white.
You would look crazy. You would look insane. And white people would even look crazy.
And they would check you. They would check you.
Okay, Terrence Billings T said, I know we're taking a little bit of time with this, said, how does your white side feel about you not identifying or accepting as your white side?
That's what I'm saying, because that is your side too.
My mother has made comments about it, and I said, Mom, you don't know how it is out in these streets. I would be completely disowned by my Black side if I sat around and said I'm white. It sounds nuts. And white people would laugh at me and be like, she thinks we're accepting. They don't. Like they may think you're easier to deal with, or more palatable, but they don't really give it to you. It's almost like a joke. And I will tell you, the pain of the rejection from the Black side is far more impactful on you than the privilege that you get sometimes with some white people. Because some white people, they think if you a light skin with like a little bit of a thick nose, you still an N-word. They don't care. They don't give you any privilege. It's some people. It's like having a rush card. It don't work everywhere. Okay, it works here and there, but it ain't as good as y'all think. It's not. It's not. All right, great conversation. I hope we have more of this. Oh, Meghan Markle gets a hard time, and she's very white passing. Look how they treat her. It sucks to get it from both sides, though. It really does suck. It is very painful. Coming up next, guess which R&B legend is planning on retiring? And later, LeBron James landed himself in a lawsuit. We'll be right back.
Scene 103, take one.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
I hug you.
Yeah. If it made you feel that way, bro, I would probably do. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to TGIF. Another day, another podcast with Benzino talking out the side of his neck. This time he went on to defend R. Kelly. Take a look.
Do you think we should give R. Kelly a second chance?
Everybody deserves a second chance. I know that Elvis, a lot of with 14, 15, I know with young girls to keep it 100, right? I'm not into that. Again, the legal age is 16 years old. So does that make it right if does it? Yes or no?
Okay, are we tired of Benzino speaking out of turn? And do you think he's doing this for attention? Or do you think these are his true thoughts? Al, what you think? I see you smiling. What you think about this?
I think it's his true thoughts. I mean, look, last week we were just giving him respect and giving him props for what he said about gay street dude comment. And this week, right when he was giving grace, he gonna say something stupid and screwed up like this. First of all, R. Kelly has gotten more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even 9, 10 chances, Benzino. What in the heck are you talking about? This is a guy who is a pedophile. Okay, so how I don't understand what he's talking about. What do you mean? In prison, maybe? You want to give him a second chance at what? Coming out? I'm just like, so I don't know. I just feel like because he is of interest to the media right now, anything he says is going to get picked up and he's going to end up on TGIF. And this is how he feels. This is how he thinks. And sometimes, like last week, it made sense. But obviously this week, he sounds like a complete idiot.
Armand, what are your thoughts?
I think this is a case of getting too comfortable and talking too much and just having like word vomit and diarrhea. Because I just think it didn't really land. Like watching the full clip, I didn't really understand what he was trying to say. So at the end of the day, like Al was saying, like R. Kelly was a pedophile. I mean, he was peeing on 14-year-old little girls. Like there is no second chance for that. You know what I mean? Like there's no second chance for that. It's done. And he had a whole sex ring and a cult, and it was clear. And so I just think that Benzino, stop while you're ahead, because there's certain things that you just don't want to be affiliated with, because then it forces people to start digging into your past. And you would hate for someone to come out and say that they were uncomfortable with you. And then they pull these kind of clips up. And then, the court of social media, they start to believe it.
You can tell a lot about people by what they defend and what they champion. And I have no doubts that Benzino loves his daughter, even though Coi Leray recently came out and said she hasn't spoken to him in a year. But it concerns me when men are quick to want to come to a man's defense, like a R. Kelly, when you're a girl dad. When you're a girl dad, that I would think it would hit a little bit differently than, just like if there's a celebrity or a star that's molesting boys and you have sons, I would think that would hit close to home. Like whatever it is that they're doing that could possibly potentially, you have a young, beautiful daughter as well. And I would just think that you would be extra offended by stuff like this because you claim to love women, as far as as your friends and relationships, and also just being a girl dad. If my dad was out there knowing that I had been a victim of abuse, and then you're out here kind of siding with or kind of seeing it for someone that's in jail for something like that, I'd be like, Dad, are you okay? Did you not remember what happened to me or what could have happened to me? It just would make me feel very not protected.
I totally agree.
It's a little disturbing. Benzino, I hope there was more to that conversation. I get giving someone a second chance, but there's some things that are just simply unforgivable. Alec W said, no, Nick Benzino is just trying to be relevant. Shut up and sit down somewhere. And Bully said, hell nah. In a year, we'll be watching the Surviving Benzino doc on Netflix. Y'all better start investigating Benzino. No shade. People say the most shady things, go, no shade, no shade.
Listen, we ain't watching no Surviving Benzino. He ain't that famous to even get a Surviving doc. It'll just be an allegation and Benzino will be off the internet.
So you're saying it's not going to be a 4-part miniseries?
Absolutely not. No one cares that much about Benzino. No. To do a surviving documentary? Absolutely not. We're going to have a surviving Diddy before we have a surviving Benzino. Even if Benzino came out himself and said, I pissed on a 14-year-old, we wouldn't get a documentary.
M-Town Boy for you said, what's going on, Benzino? He needs a hug or something. I've been feeling like he needs a hug for a long time. Unique God has said he just be talking out the side of you. Stop putting these comments in there for me to read, production. No, I'm not mature enough for this conversation. I'm trying. All right, y'all. I'm moving on. Mary J. Blige is gearing up to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but she's also planning on retiring. She spoke to Extra saying she'll be ready to retire in about 5 or 6 years. All right, who's one artist that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame next? And what do you want to see Mary J. Blige do before she retires? Al, what do you think?
I think the next person I would like to see in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame would be Whitney Houston. And what do I want to see Mary J. Blige do next? Whatever the heck she wants to do. She's been in the game. I love this about her because she's crossed over the point where she's been famous longer than she has not been famous. She's put in the work. People respect her. She, whatever she wants to do. I just want her, at this point, Mary J. Blige should just do whatever she wants to do. If she wants to retire, retire. And if she doesn't, then don't. If you retire and want to come back, come back.
I like to see her do more acting. I like Mary J. Blige. I like her personality. I think she's very sassy and fun. Armand, what do you think?
I would say Usher, Rihanna, if she ain't there. Now, what I would like to see more from Mary J. Blige, more Monet. I hate that they canceling Power with her character on it. I love Mary J. Blige as a sassy, bad gangster woman. I like that character for her. So I hope we see her in some more kind of gangster thrillers. I love her as an actress.
One of the Hall of Soulmates had a great idea. My YSL77 said she needs her boot line. Yeah, that would make such sense. Her boot line. And Ansel D'Angelo said Mary has to give us a biopic before she retires. I want to see her real story. They say she has quite a story. So, and Whitney was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2011. Auntie Meemaw said Mary wants to act. I can see her letting go of singing and touring Okay, but more of the acting.
I like more acting. I'm not really a big Mary J. Blige vocal.
But for the acting, you're here for the acting.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like J-Lo. I feel like that way about J-Lo as well.
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco is speaking on his preference of dating women that already have children. Take a look.
Somebody asked me on Instagram, why they got to have kids? Because women with kids have structure. They have discipline because they have kids, and women that don't have kids, they never have snacks in the pantry. I like to get up 3, 4 in the morning and get a Capri Sun and steal some of the kids' snacks. And women that don't have kids don't never have no food, Unc.
All right. Do you feel women with kids have more structure in their lives than women without? Armand, I mean, I don't know why I'm going to you first. I'm going to go to you first on this.
I'm gonna say no. I don't feel like it. I feel like, it just depends on the person. Structure depends on the person, because I know women with kids that are a mess. They don't even raise their kids. They don't even watch their kids. You know what I mean? And they have everyone else watching it, or the tablet or the game watch the kids, and there's no food in the house. But then there are some women, that don't have kids that have all the snacks and organization skills that you need. So I don't think that that's necessarily true, but I get what he was trying to say.
Okay, Al, what are your thoughts?
I have to push back on that one. Yeah, I think majority of women with kids have to have structure. And in my experience, they have like just a whole different like type of maturity. They're responsible because they are responsible for a little human. They know how to manage a household. They raise kids. They don't sweat the small stuff. They're great at multitasking. They're like miniature little angels and gods to me, because they really make stuff happen out of nothing. And I think especially single mothers, wow, I don't see how they're able to juggle it all. And you also do know that they will have food. Now, they got to make sure that little one that they're raising eats. And so they're going to always have good, food around. Don't know if it's going to be good, but it's always going to have food around. So, yeah, I totally can connect with Ocho on this.
I'm going to push back on all of that, because we done seen the pantry of Blueface and his baby mama. There was nothing but dust and condiments in that pantry. And we all felt bad for that baby. We was like, oh, and they had a few kids over there, all starving, all being poorly parented. It just depends on the person. There's
but look at who we're talking about.
But there's fantastic mothers and there's horrible mothers that we do stories on every single week. Like, it just depends on the person. I don't have kids. I have cats. You go in my pantry. It is a child's dream. I got all kinds of candy.
That's what I'm saying.
Snacks, because I live a good life. So if you come to my house, you're going to live a good life with me. Now, ideally, of course.
I support single mothers.
Well, I
support single mothers. Sorry.
Pandering. I'm not
pandering nothing. I support,
but I'm not supporting
single mothers. Single mothers are
pandering tonight.
No, single mothers are incredibly resilient. They're responsible.
Wait till we get to a story about a single mom he don't like.
Sorry. Wait, no, I'm not floundering.
Single mothers in the early 80s and 90s are different from the single mothers in the 2020s. You know that, Al.
Oh, no, I can agree with that. No, for sure. I can definitely agree with that. But I'm going to always be on the side of single mothers. Sorry.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely.
I would love to see that. I think that would be great. But it depends on the person. I will say that. Okay, coming up next, LeBron James has landed himself in a lawsuit. And later, we have a new couple alert that you'd never expect. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TGIF.
Can you imagine 30 million people walking around sexually frustrated because they can't get to their porn?
You're looking at one right now. I'm gonna say this.
Every weekday.
I'll never live in Texas again. It's the worst.
What's your favorite porn, Armand?
Oh, I'm not getting into that. My God.
On Fox Soul.
Now, what's yours?
And listen, don't judge me, okay? Massage porn.
That's boring now. Give me a good three-way gang.
Oh, I knew it was gonna come out.
Yes, yes.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all. During the heated game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, LeBron James had a heckler on his hands. The woman sat courtside mocking LeBron and even calling him a crybaby at one point. After a while, LeBron walked towards the heckler and jump scared her, which made her flinch. He appeared to call her a scary ass. I can't even say that word anymore. Rhymes with sass. Following the interaction. And the woman is allegedly now pressing charges against LeBron. Do you think this woman has any ground to sue LeBron James when she started it? Armand, what you think?
Absolutely not. And honestly, she shouldn't even be allowed to sit on the floor anymore, because that could be a distraction to the game. So she should actually be the one getting in trouble. So hopefully this reverses on her and she's unable to purchase those tickets and banned from the courtside seating at this point, because that's unnecessary.
Okay. Al, what do you think?
I think Karens are doing what Karens do. But this is the interesting part. It's funny that it's now documented in the media that she is a heckler. Heckler is verbal harassment. Verbal harassment is illegal, and especially for someone who performs on a stage to entertain people. So if I was LeBron, I would definitely use that good old money that you have with those great lawyers, get her case thrown out, and then sue her for verbal harassment. And while suing her for verbal harassment, I would just say, like Armand, put a clause in it saying that you cannot come back to any more Laker games and sit on the front row as long as I'm a player there, because psychologically, you are affecting my well-being.
Candace said, these fans are a mess. And Tanya Christopher said, that's what she gets for talking crap courtside. MJ said she should have gotten kicked out. And Africa Singh says, no, the F she's not. She needs to be banned. I blame her. I bet her name is Karen. First of all, when people are doing their job and you come to their place of employment, yes, you do have a right as a fan to react and have emotional reaction to the game. But you know when you're being problematic, there's a difference. There is a difference. Let's not play stupid here. And lady, it went too far. You saw it, because if that's the case, it's going to open up the door for so many other people to go antagonize players and then try to get a reaction, be like, oh, they hurt me, and try to get that money and just do that. You know, leave him alone. He's not going to hurt you. And if he can, you know, they throw stuff at players. They can be very violent at these games. And I'm worried for players and actually singers, because remember last year we were doing stories all the time about people throwing stuff on stage at performance while they're trying to do their job. So yeah. All right, moving on. Benzino's daughter, Coyle Ray, I touched upon this earlier, recently spoke out about disowning her father. She tweeted, sharing the same DNA and blood doesn't make us family. Loyalty, boundaries, respect, teaching, guidance, love, patience, and encouragement makes us family. Do you think it's important to honor your parents no matter what they do? Or is it okay to cut off blood when necessary? Amon, what do you think about this?
Well, first of all, as it comes to Coyle Ray and Benzino, probably not going to like this, but take me out of the group chat, please. We've been going up over this year after year. They're good. They're not. They're good. They're not. She disowned him. She's hugging. She loves her dad. He loves her. I quite frankly am over it. I don't care anymore. We get it. The relationship is estranged, and I wish she would stop talking about it, and him too. Now, as far as, you know, being cutting your family off, you should honor your mother and father, not just for them, but kind of for yourself. You know, like when me and my mom were at a bad place, I still try to honor her for my own karma. Now, if you need to cut your parents off, do so, but at least honor them for yourself.
Okay. Al, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think you definitely should honor your parents, but honoring your parents does not mean that you have to allow them to disrespect you. You know, you set your boundaries, and, you know, you don't have to always be in your feelings if they do something bad, right? I don't know. For me, I will always honor my parents. It's something that I've been taught at a very young age. I will continue to do. And like Armand, I've gone through some ups and downs and sideways with my parents, but it does not matter for me, because at the end of the day, they created me right? They provided for me when I was a child. They raised me, protected me, made sure that went to school, all of that great stuff. So I will always have a space in my heart to honor them regardless.
You had good parents, right? So that's great that you had that. A lot of people don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have people that just weren't present, checked out, didn't protect, just weren't present for their kids. And I don't blame someone if they need it for their own mental health to have some distance between themselves. And a bad parent, if you didn't care about me from 10 through 40, don't come back around here and try to act like you helped make me and all that. Yeah, I will have some kind of love for you, but being honored to me, I don't know about that. Her and Benzino have a very tumultuous relationship. Like they go back and forth and back and forth. I don't know. I also don't think blood, you can't abuse me and mistreat me because you're blood and then I don't give you the same distance or treatment that I would give someone else. I just don't believe in just blind loyalty to someone just because we have the same blood. But that's me. We don't all have to agree. And I think
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. If someone's hurt you, say someone's molested you or say someone
Yeah, no. Blood does not mean I owe you blind loyalty.
It doesn't. Kitty a softpaw says people shouldn't disrespect their kids and they wouldn't have issues. Okay. Christy Moss says, I don't like Coyle Ray either. She doesn't even have to respond what Benzino said. Shut the F up. Ooh. Billy Little says the both of them troll for attention because neither of them have talent that supports longevity. Oh, wow. She had a hit song.
She's had a few hits.
Yeah, she's pretty done well.
And she's beautiful and she's actually good. I think Coyle Ray will be here for the long haul. She's taking it the slow and steady route. So I actually think she's really one of the better talents, honestly.
I do like that she didn't succumb to the pressure of everybody else that said that instantly gets in the business and says, you got to get your body done. And she kept, I think that's a great thing for girls her age to look at. Trinity said, I honor the people who were present in my life with the positive aspect, not those who decided to bring negativity. People are split on this. Some people honor their parents no matter what, and some people say, no, I ain't got time for you. All right, check out this story about a man who had some car trouble and ended up with a dilemma on his hands. The man shared a photo of his car tire being changed. He wrote, I called AAA and they sent a woman. Now people looking at me weird because a lady is changing my tire. Ain't nobody forced her to be no mechanic. Should he have helped the woman change his tire or let the professional do their job? Al, what do you think?
I say this all the time on this show. These new batch of men do not have an ounce of chivalry in their conscience. I don't think that he necessarily should have changed the tire. I mean, that's why you have AAA. But you should definitely, as a man, ask her, is there anything you need help with? For me, I wouldn't have been able to change that tire, but I would have said, hey, you want me to hold the tire while you're taking the other tire off? Would you want me to hold something? You need my help in any way? And if she said, no, I got it, I would have gone in the car and had a seat.
I'm going to say something real quick, before you go. You can't change your tire, and a woman comes, you put it out there, it's kind of trying to clown a little bit. And then, I think he should just been quiet and just let this woman do her job because she's helping you out. She's helping you out, and that's her job. I don't know. Mom, what do you think about this story?
She would sit there, I would have sat there and I would have asked her to let me know when she was finished. She'd have changed that tire and she'd have did it all by herself. Because let me tell you something, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If I'd have went and tried to help her, I could have offended her. How dare you think that I need your help? This is my job. You don't think I can change a tire because I'm a woman? All right, ma'am. And now if I don't help her, well, these men just don't want to help women out. So at the end of the day, I'm going to choose to sit in the shade while you change this tire. I'm paying for it. You signed up for this job. So ma'am, let me know when you're done and where I need to sign.
Yeah, I agree. He had no obligation to help her. If that was a date he was on, I would think that would be different. But this is a professional that he contacted and he needed the help. Carolyn Jones says he called AAA. Let the professional do her job. Don Juan Knows Best said, these new men don't know how to change tires, air filters, or lights.
The real conversation is, why is that woman a mechanic? What man is going to want to marry a woman out here changing tires?
Armand!
Oh, sexist.
That was very sexist. We were getting along for
they're not working in their femininity.
Oh, my God.
Listen, you think a man is going to want, I'm be honest, what man is going to want a woman coming home and calloused all up, dirt between her nails? You want to touch a rough hand? She's been working on tires, all that. You want her to touch your body and massage you, and she got calluses and sores on her hands? That's not feminine at all.
Go to the next story, Claudia.
You are getting very
Go to the next story, Claudia.
Listen, I can stand confident in that because my mama told me that. She like, listen, women out here, they want to take the role as men, and you shouldn't be afraid to say that, son. So I'll take the backlash because my mama told me that. She said these women don't need to be out here trying to be mechanics and police officers. Where's the femininity?
But men are in women's faces all day long, Armand. I can see your nipples tonight. What are you saying? How dare you say that thing with an off-the-shoulder shirt on you? How dare you?
We gotta.
Okay. Oh, we gotta go now, huh?
No, I can keep going. I'm just saying, think about it. If you are a man, are you gonna want to be with a woman that's got dirt and calluses on her hands from changing tires all day? Al, you're the resident bisexual. Does that kind of woman you want to lay with?
I would never tell a woman what she can't do. I mean, I never. That wouldn't work over
All
here.
right. Al has changed over the last 48 hours. It's a new me
you
for
have
you.
you have never heard me put a woman
This
down.
is a
or
new
limit her
season for you, Al. I see
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You've never on this show in 4 years I've been on it seen me put a woman down or not support women. Ever.
That's not true. That's not true.
Ever.
That's not true.
I am supportive of women, Black women particularly. Love it.
The ones you like. Sylvia Andrews says, sexist. What if he's gay? Either way, leave her alone. And Trinity said, so men don't want a woman who works and has her own money, Armand?
Oh, God, no. You can work. I'm just saying a man probably doesn't want a woman that's changing tires. And fighting wars, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well, we're going to go to break because this got very much heated. It was supposed to be a cute little simple, so we don't attack and fought each other on this one. Keep it locked because coming up next, we have a couple alert that you'd never expect. And later, an elderly woman robs a bank. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
You know how to
fried chicken?
No, I don't.
You ain't got no
Give me that black card back.
TGIF.
It's not about blackness. I don't make any fried foods, okay?
Boo!
The chat is going in about this fried chicken. Lynette19 said, I am blackity black and fried chicken is not my favorite go-to meal. Stop with the stereotypes, okay?
Live and interactive.
She's dumb.
Oh, Al, you don't even cook, please.
Fried chicken, fried fish. Come on, baby.
On Fox Soul.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
Welcome back. We have a new Hollywood couple alert. All right, y'all. Comedian Drewski and social media influencer Ruby Rose are officially a couple. A lot of fans are claiming the relationship is a publicity stunt. One fan wrote, they look good together, but the daily portrait pics are starting to feel suspicious, making it seem more PR related than genuine feelings. In their defense, someone else wrote, y'all tripping. You can't fake that glow. She's in love. Do you think it's a red flag when couples constantly post their relationship on social media? Al, what do you think about this?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes, like if you're in love and you want to post, I think post. The only reason that I look at this situation side eye is because isn't Ruby Rose? Isn't that the same young lady that said she got paid $100,000 on her OnlyFans, but then they uncovered that she was actually lying about it, you know, to go viral and have people talk about it and cover it and stuff. So that's the only reason why I'm looking at this sideways. But yeah, I mean, other than that, if you want to post you and your man every day, you have the right to post you and your man every day.
All right. Armand, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind it, but at the same time, we know that these are content creators too, you know? And so a part of this is about that, just like, oh, I know people are going to talk. You know, she was connected to DDG at one point. He does skits, and that's part of his brand to post and be on Instagram. So it's like he's the big boy now, but he's got a bad chick. And now, you know, she's got a guy with money and he's popping. So I think they're banking on what's happening right now. We're talking about it. They're in the media. People care, not as much as they really, really think, but people care. So I feel like it just kind of boosts their ego and boosts their platforms, and it helps them get engagement and deals. It's about money at the end of the day. The more engagement, the more money you can make.
I think it's so lame to date someone that you don't actually really love or date or into, or just like you're playing a role. I think it's so corny with like, what is that for? Like you're going to put your body and your mouth on someone that you're not really into. I'm gonna say that I think it's real, only because I can't fathom doing that myself. Like I'm just like, wait, what? And you know, when you first get with someone, you're kind of like the happiest and you're like super proud, especially if you're both kind of popping or famous or got some. It's like, look at us, look at us, look at us. So I could believe it because of that. Aqua Boogie said, Lord, what are these clout chases gonna do when the likes stop coming? And as the culture turn says, this would benefit Ruby Rose more than Drewski. She's fine as ever, but I don't know her or what she does. And Jay Callwood 25 said, I believe this relationship for some reason.
I think it benefits Drewski because look, it looks like the big boys is up one. You know what I mean? It's like the fat boy can pull a bad chick. Who would have thought the fat funny guy can pull a baddie?
But rich men have been pulling bad girls forever, right? Because he's got bread, right?
But you know, he's a comedian, so he's goofy. So it's kind of like you're fat and you're funny. Like, no, you like it's almost like don't sleep on the funny guy. Like he'll bag your chick. He'll bag a Ruby Rose on you. You know, he's the goofy guy. So you don't think that they can actually pull.
Huh. I saw him out.
So you don't think fat people can pull people?
No, what I'm saying is they're up one now because you got like the big fat funny guy that's pulling the Ruby Rose. So it actually, in terms of who it benefits more, I think it benefits the guys that look like Drewski because it's like, dang, you can pull a Ruby Rose. He doesn't benefit her, to me. I think she benefits him a little bit more. She's the bigger look to me.
Lil Lexus said, I want to believe it because he is funny. He is very funny. I think he is hilarious.
I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to him a lot.
So Al, he's not like a conventional comedian, just go on stage. He does the skits. And he had this like American Idol type show where he had people. You ever see that big muscular black guy that dances really hard? Some people say it's annoying.
So he's like that, yes. Okay, the dark skin guy.
Well, he had him come on the show and he like kind of gave him an evaluation. It was so freaking funny. Like he's funny. He really is funny, but it's not like on stage comedy. Like
no, it's like Instagram skit, goofy.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But he plays a lot of characters. I would encourage you to just check him out because he's pretty funny. Candy Camp said, "Funny guys always get fine women." That is true. When a man makes a girl laugh, yeah. When men make girls laugh, man, that's half the battle right there. Sometimes they be not even looking like nothing either. They be getting the girl. All right. Well, on the other hand, we have a Hollywood breakup alert to report. It looks like Kim Kardashian and Odell Beckham Jr. have put an end to their fling. Sources reported that the pair ended their short-lived romance due to their busy careers. Are you surprised by this news, or did you expect their relationship to be short-lived? Armand, what do you think?
I'm not surprised by the news, but I'm just wondering either did they accomplish what they wanted, or was it not? Did we not care enough for them to carry it on? You know, because anything dealing with Kardashian, there's always a reason behind it, and there's always some sort of stunt or there's just a reason. So I'm just like, for it to end that quickly, either the contract had fulfilled itself or it didn't give the momentum that they thought it was going to do. So they decided to dissolve it early.
They're really both good looking people though. Do you cannot see like a world that could actually be real?
I just feel like everything with that that family is contrived and everything there's always a reason to it. There's always a reason for it.
Okay. Al, did you believe this relationship or do you think it was a deal? What did you think?
I don't believe too much of anything being real coming out of that camp. Like Armand says, it's like, and I think the reason why it's not lasting is because it ain't hitting the way she thought it was going to hit. People aren't, running after them, trying to see what they're doing and where they're at all the time, in my opinion, and also I'm looking at it side eye because he just had a baby with the lady that lived with him. It's baby mama. They were all over the internet taking beautiful pictures together. Then all of a sudden she's off of the internet and he's dating Kim Kardashian. Things like that, when it happens like that, it does give you a reason to look at these relationships side eye.
Golden Queen said, I'm so sick of Kim. How tried. That was your sister's dude, right? Who does that? Don't get it twisted. Chloe has taken a lot of her friends' men. They've all done a little pass around in that family. Allegedly, because Chloe was very good friends with Trina and then got with a couple of her dudes. And there's a lot that's documented. And so D'Angelo, one of our, 5-star commenters that always comment on our show, said Drake started calling Odell again. So he had to leave. You know what? Billy Little said Kim will do anything to get Kanye to make a public fool out of himself. Okay. All right. Well, coming up next, we have a lot more show to go. Keep it locked, and we'll be right back.
You know how to fry chicken?
No, I don't.
You ain't got no.
Give me that black card back.
TGIF.
It's not about blackness. I don't make any fried foods, okay?
Boo!
The chat is going in about this fried chicken. Lynette19 said, I am blackity black, and fried chicken is not my favorite go-to meal. Stop with the stereotypes, okay?
Live and interactive.
Oh, Al, you don't even cook, please.
Fried chicken, fried fish. Come on, baby.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Welcome back to the show. Tyra Banks shared that she didn't have her first alcoholic drink until she was 50 years old. What are your thoughts on this? Do you believe it? And at what age did you start drinking alcohol? Al, let's go to you first.
Ooh, I started young. I come from a drinking family. My mother doesn't drink, but my father definitely drinks. So I'm going to say I tried a beer, like maybe 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. And I believe her because she said it's not the first time that she tasted alcohol, but it's the first time that she had a complete drink. So I believe her.
All right, Armand, what do you think?
I mean, I guess I'll believe her just because why not believe her if she decided she wanted to say that she had her first drink at 50? I just think maybe she didn't remember. Maybe that's the first time she remembered. I feel like there's a technicality here. You know what I mean? Maybe at 50, that birthday party, she was really, really trash, and that was the drink to remember. I don't believe that was the first time she had a complete drink, if you ask me, in my opinion. I just don't believe it. Now, when I started drinking, I think I kind of started drinking around 16, 17. I would sip little drinks here at the family function. But I remember for sure at 18, my best friend was 21, and I turned 18, and he bought me my first little Smirnoff Ice bottle and went to the bar. So, yeah, that's what happened for me.
Lil Lexa says she's a model. Definitely a lie. We already know how Hollywood goes. Danny said, Tyra, you know you was sipping. And Fish Eye Jedi said, Tyra's a good girl unless y'all got some tea to spill. I never heard anything bad about Tyra. I really haven't. I just find it weird that you able to deal with the pressures of this business. Because I know when I get on a set, especially dealing with certain people, I have to have some drinks to deal. So I'm just surprised all those years you didn't have a drink. But I think if you would have drank, your talk show could have lasted longer. I really do, because I really feel like maybe it loosen you up, make you relax, and just have a little bit more fun. And damn, Tyra, you missed out. And you dealt with all those issues with relationships and the business and people talking about your weight with no drink. You are a soldier for that, because I would have been down the bottle. Rosanna L. Bivens said, I had my first rum of Coke last week while watching TGIF. Otto Norfleet, my first drink was at the age of 9 on New Year's Eve, 1979. Oh my God. Growing up with a white Italian mother in Italy, we tasted wine, but I hated it. I'll say about 17 when I started hanging out. And I think I had a peach schnapps. It was, Mad Dog 2020.
Oh, that used to do me in, baby. The MD 2020 used to do a number on me.
Kiwi flavored is what I like. What flavor did you like?
It was the banana strawberry, it was the banana, strawberry was a red one. It was disgusting, but it used to do a number on me.
Yeah, that's the most ghetto drink in the world.
Mm-hmm. That's when I first started drinking. I would drink those and be blacked out.
It was $2.19. Nikki Arm brought up a good point. Don't forget, Tyra's mother was always with her, so maybe that's true. Okay, switching gears. Danileigh got emotional while talking about her music not being pushed over the last few years. Take a look.
It's just crazy how as soon as I dropped that album, first of all, COVID was happening, and then I did something stupid, and then it's just boom, it stopped everything, literally, no record label push. I was on hiatus, it's just crazy that that music didn't even get the opportunity. But it's just why? What was the reason?
And I'm sure we all remember when we're down between her and rapper The Baby. Do you believe being in a public and toxic relationship can cause a downfall of your career? Al, what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like if that's all your career is built on, possibly so. If you're leaning on, if that was a part of your brand, right, and you were leaning on that public relationship, then maybe it could. But if you're super talented and you know how to reinvent yourself and you keep grinding, which I think she is going to do, she's going to be fine. She's got to figure out a way to re-enter the market, re-garner attention around herself and her music, and not around herself, her music, and a man.
Okay. Armand?
I think the problem with Danileigh was it's not that she wasn't talented, because she was very talented. And I don't even think it was solely The Baby, because people kind of cared for her, but it was the back and forth with her and his baby mama. And when she dropped that song, Yellow Bonus, What He Wants, that's when everybody turned against her, because, his baby mama's dark skinned. And she was basically saying that, he don't want you. He wants me, the light, bright yellow bone. And so the fans turned on her. And then when he did her the same way he did his baby mama, people was like, girl, you thought you were different because you were light skinned. So she turned a lot of women off when women would be more supportive of her because he was being a bad guy to her, but they didn't care.
Yeah, I remember that move. And it's unfortunately, there is going to be double standards in that regard as far as when it comes to colorism. You can't, as a light-skinned woman, because it's looked at as you're using your privilege, taunt a darker-skinned girl and say, this is what he wants. Although a dark-skinned woman could say, I love being dark and all that kind of stuff. And you have to accept it. You cannot do that. And I thought that was a big mistake that she made that. And she's going to forever probably be punished for that, unfortunately. But I am glad to see she is very apologetic for it. And hopefully she can move on, because there's been murderers that have gotten forgiven and rapists. So let's keep that energy the same, because she, I think she can come back from this. All right. I want to thank my co-hosts, Al Reynolds and Armand Wiggins, for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. I hope you rewatch the same show tomorrow on YouTube if you missed any of it or any of the other platforms, and hit that like button. Stay tuned for Fox Soul Face Off, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Y'all have a fantastic night, gentlemen and soulmates. Goodbye.
Have a good night, soulmates.
Good night.